Oh, I'm alive! Hey! I was going to record a video, but then I thought, man, it's too much. And there's a lot to say. So it's easier if I came here and if I told you live. If there are some people coming here, hi Val. And if you want to talk to me, here I am. Hi Catherine. And I didn't tell you before because I wasn't planning on coming live. But here we go. I would like to talk to you about 5 things that we don't need and teachers don't need to worry about next year. Because I don't know if it's only me or it's something widely spread today, but there are a few things that keep bothering me and bugging me, and I would like to talk to you because I am just a regular teacher who survives on teaching. So that's what I would like to share with you. That's what my account is about, yeah? Sharing my experience with you. And these are the 5 things that I would like to talk to you. So instead of recording a video, why not coming here and talk to you directly, all right? So off we go. The first one, teachers don't need to go viral. Are you crazy? Unless you have a product to sell, and then you would need a bigger and a wider reach so that more people can know what you do. You don't need to go viral. So when we start working online, I think that's the main thing. Hi dear, hi Faye. The first thing that we think about, oh my God, I have to grow. I need a bigger audience. I need to reach more people. But why? Why are you thinking about this? Are you thinking about this because you are listening to marketing strategists and marketing gurus telling you to record 5 reels a day or record a lot of things so that you can go viral? Or because you will actually benefit from this? So unless you have something to sell to a big audience, you don't need to go viral. On the other hand, if you go viral, that's okay. It's okay to go viral. Just remember that if there are a lot of people following you, it's because they trust you. So you have to be there, you have to be present, and you have to be working with them. So be aware of the fact that if you go live, if you go viral, it means that you have a commitment with your followers. And there will be people who will be there for you because they like you, and there will be people who will be there because they envy you or because they're just trying to see what you're doing. So it's not easy and it's not beautiful as it appears to be in the first place. Thank you, Fim. So that's the first thing. So if you decide to start an account, so you are beginning to be a freelance teacher, and I want to have an Instagram profile, concentrate on the message and concentrate on the connections with those people who are following you. So exchange messages with them, because why are you here? Because you are a teacher and because you want to have students. And that's the first thing. We are here because we are teachers. So creating things, selling things, products would be a second, third thing if you want to do it. So remember to do it. Remember that if you start a profile here on Instagram or another social media, you should take into account the fact that you are a teacher. You're not a salesperson. Because when you have a big account, people charge you and people criticize you and people expect things from you. And if you're working on your own and you don't have people to support you, people to help you with creation, if you don't have people to help you with posts and anything, okay, you will feel overwhelmed after a while. So after 6 months, 1 year, no one can bear, oh my God, sorry, no one can bear this for too long because it's extremely draining. So my first piece of advice is you don't need to go viral. You need to create connections because you need students, not followers. Oh, no, of course. Followers are important because you're going to share the things that you consider important on your page, and your followers are going to see what you're capable of doing, and they will become your students in the future. But you have to create these connections with your followers first before they turn into students. So you don't need a lot, because if you have tons and tons of people following you, how are you going to create this connection? So don't worry about going viral. Don't worry about creating millions of reels a week just to go viral, just for the sake of going viral. Yeah. The second one, you don't need to create anything, because that's the message we keep getting online. So you need to create something. You need to have a product. You need passive income. And that's not exactly what we need at this point. Yeah. If you create something, remember that it demands time, and it's not little, it's a lot. Creation demands a lot of work. If you have a product to sell, so you're going to invest a lot of your time in creating something, and this is countless hours, studies. You have to interact with other areas, other business areas. You have to understand a little bit, if not a lot, about technology. So there's a lot to learn when you create something, only because of the creation. But then you have to sell. So if you have to sell, you have to master other skills. That is the sales skills, understanding people, again, connecting with people. So you don't need to create anything, let alone create something if you don't have anyone to buy what you're creating. So first, you need, if you have this dream of creating something and going viral and having a lot of followers and developing this passive income, remember that first you have to develop your name. You have to have a name in the market, and then sell something, because it's pretty hard to sell. Guys, it's not easy to sell. Even people with a lot of followers struggle with selling. So don't think about creating anything. Think about creating posts, good posts, creating connections with people, because then they're gonna relate with you, they're gonna connect with you, and they're gonna hire you as a teacher first. And then as time goes by, as a teacher, as time goes by, 1 year, 2 years, you are established in the social media, 4 years, and you have incorporated this creation mode into your routine, not as something, as an extravaganza, and you have to do this as soon as possible because you have to sell. No, as part of your routine, that it's not gonna bother you, that it's not gonna disturb you, yeah, that it's gonna be part of your routine. Then maybe you can think about something, because you have people interested in what you're talking about. You have people who will like you for whom you are, not for something that you're promising, and they are not sure if you are someone that they can trust. Yeah. Before I move on to the third point, I may have missed a few things here. Catherine said, I was just thinking this last night as I watched 3 videos about making reels on Canva. It's a job. Thanks for perspective to relax a bit. Connection. Yeah, Catherine, and that's the thing. Yes, we keep getting these messages, these marketing messages. Yeah, and Instagram and other social media are not our bosses, and it demands a lot of work. So who has profiles or any sort of online business, they know it demands a lot of time, a lot of energy, and not necessarily it will bring some kind of financial result to us. And what happens? Most people who start an account full of energy, extremely motivated, after 6 months, where is this energy? What happens to us? Because it is overwhelming. It is, and if you dedicate a lot of time to that, you start having other anxiety issues, because you have to post, and then you are your worst boss. social media doesn't pay us anything. So you have to do it because you like it. For example, this account here, I produce content because I like, not because I have anything to sell, and I'm not here to sell anything. I'm just here to share because I think teachers need to have the other side of the situation, yeah? So it's just like, if you don't produce, if you don't create, you're a loser because you're just teaching. We are not just teaching. We are doing one of the most beautiful jobs of the world because teachers are the ones who help others become other businesses. So don't let these social media marketing gurus messages get into your brain and make you work overtime, make you work more than you need. For example, now it's December and January, at least here in South America, we are gonna have a little break. Students don't start courses right now, so take a rest. You don't need to be there all the time. Fernanda Sal, thank you. And Fernanda said, I always have a student who had been following since I started here 3 years ago. Sometimes a silent follower can become a client. And as Agnes says, it takes time. That is true. Yes, I have students too. I have my other account. I've had my other account for 2 years and something. And this year I started having followers become students. It didn't happen in the first year. In the first year, people are analyzing you. People are trying to understand who you are. People are trying to understand if you have masks. And if you have these marketing masks that promise a million things, or if you're truly what you say you are, yeah? And not that we don't need to promise anything, but things turn out to be real after a while, and people who follow you from the beginning, they feel when you are true to what you say, or if you're just trying to create something to look like someone you would like to be, but whom you're not. Okay? And hi, dear. Another comment here. Potential clients will trust you when you talk about your own struggles, right? Yes. They can feel it. They can feel it, Fernanda. I never see gurus talking about their struggles, but curiously, they have the solution to everybody's problems. Yes. Yes. Everybody knows what we should be doing. But guys, take into account this aspect. How many of those gurus are actually having quality of life? How many? How many do you see taking actual breaks or taking pauses, talking about family, talking about friends, talking about fun? Most of them talk about work. And if you see, sometimes they go live Saturday, sometimes they go live Sunday, sometimes they go live every day because they need to sell. They need to sell. And we are teachers. I don't know about you, I don't like selling. I don't like this process now that December, we have to renew contract, we have to negotiate new prices, maybe a change in the price. This is not my favorite part of the business. If there are students here talking, if there are students who will watch this, they will understand. I don't like selling. I don't like sending contracts. I don't like sending this bureaucratic part because this is not what I do. This is not what moves me. What moves me is teaching. So we are teachers. So don't let these messages get into your heart and make you anxious. December is a time to slow down and not to get more anxious about next year. Everybody deals with anxiety, and I myself have been dealing with a lot of anxiety because I have lots of things to do, and sometimes I have to take a pause and think, man, this is not coming from me. This anxiety is not coming from me. So we have to be mindful, and we have to take breaks, and we have to understand, where is it coming from? Where is this message coming from? Do I need to do something? Yes, I need to be a good teacher. I need to do a good job for my clients. I need to learn how to be better every day for my clients, and not for these messages that we get. Yes? Fernanda said, just teaching equals transforming lives. Yes, yes. How many students? I have been a teacher for almost 30 years. Oh my God, almost there. How many students have told us that? Yeah, how many people have told us that? Oh my God, you have helped me so much. You have no idea of how much you have supported me in this aspect, in that other aspect. And remember, if you create things to sell online, and it's still my second point, if you create things to sell online, you have to have people who can afford whatever it is that you're selling. So if you like teaching kids, how can you sell? How can you create products to sell to kids? If you like teaching teenagers, group of teenagers, parents are not gonna pay for asynchronous courses for teenagers. So these people don't deserve to have quality teachers, or teachers who teach these niches are not good enough, are losers. No, everybody is important. Everybody matters. And if you are a good teacher, you're going to have groups of kids. You're going to have groups of students online or face-to-face. You don't need to create anything unless you have this dream. So if you have the dream of creating, if you have the dream of growing, if you have the dream of going viral, go for it. But make sure that this dream is yours. Is not input in your brain from these constant messages that we keep getting. If you don't do it, you're gonna be poor to the end of your lives. I don't know if you know it, but I have 2 kids and I support my family by teaching one-on-one. That's it. I have one group, I have 2 duets, but mostly one-on-one, and I have time to go to the movies during the week. I take my flamenco classes, I don't work on the weekends, and that's it. So, am I crazy? Am I a loser? Am I not dealing with my business well? I have been doing this since 2004, and I guarantee that it's working. So teaching is not just teaching. Teaching is the most important aspect of your business, okay? Fernanda said, nobody can wear a mask for too long. Yes, and the thing is, if you want to put on a mask, make sure that you sell as fast as possible, because after 6 months, 1 year, nobody will buy that anymore. Yeah. The third thing, you don't need to have a lot of accounts. You don't need to have a lot of social media accounts. You don't need to be on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on what else? Facebook. You don't. Or else you're gonna be working 4 hours a day on the social media. You don't. People who have these big teachers, yeah, there are some names out there who have a lot of accounts everywhere that post constantly. They have a support team to help them. They are not doing that by themselves. And if they are, I can't imagine how they can teach. Yeah, so we are just teachers. So we have to dedicate our times to our time to our students, and not to social media creation. So if you decide to have a social media account, focus on one. And you don't need to post X number of times a week, unless you want to go viral, unless you want to grow, as we said in the first point. Yeah, so post when you feel there is something meaningful. Post when you feel there is something useful for your audience, because your audience is going to read there. But my audience is small. It doesn't matter. People who are there, only 20 people watched my video. But if they watch it, your video, until the end, can you teach 20 people this week? You can't. So if they turn into clients later on, that is okay. So make peace with this idea of numbers. Numbers don't matter. What matters is your connection, and the number in the bank account, that number counts. But not numbers who are listening to you, numbers who are following you. These numbers don't pay your bills, okay? Number 4, you don't need to tell, you don't need to do what marketing gurus tell you. Before you follow anybody's advice, See what their life is like. This is my advice. Okay, so I respect a certain number of people. Why? Because I understand how they work. So the people who I take advice from, it's because I know they have quality of life. I know that they have good relationships with their clients. Yeah, I know that they do what they do because they like, and because not because they are money driven, but because they do what they like. They are not wearing masks. They are honest and true to themselves. So pay attention to whom you follow and pay attention to whom you take advice from, because otherwise you're gonna be falling to this trap of believing in this fallacy of getting big, six-figure salary. Watch out for those. Hi there, my money. And number 5, you don't need to be online 24/7. Period. But if I don't come online every day, the algorithm is going to stop delivering my content. They're not gonna stop delivering your content to all your audience. It may reduce, of course. If you post every day, the algorithm is a machine. So if you post every day, the algorithm is gonna share your content with more people. If you post just when you feel like posting, the algorithm doesn't understand quality of life or feeling like posting. Yeah, the algorithm is gonna go like, okay, maybe this content is not so relevant right now because it's not present all the time. The algorithm wants to keep you there 24/7. Okay, so you don't need to post 24/7. You don't need to be online 24/7. You just need to come here and post something, create something, if there is something useful to say. Because what I see a lot of profiles, a lot of similar profiles. Because teachers, look, you are beginning your freelance career, you started a while ago. Hi, Julian. Peru, nice. You started a while ago. So you're still trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to head. And I understand that we feel lost. We feel lost. And we understand that there are people, there are specialists in the area that they tell you, write this, say this, you're going to get there. Produce this, create this, you're going to get there. But are they there? How many hours? So whoever you decide to follow, have a conversation with them. Ask them the number of hours they work on the social media. Ask them the number of hours that they work outside the social media. Ask them about their quality of life. So before you follow anybody else's advice, make sure that these people are people who you should look up to. Or else you're gonna be, following again, and after 6 months, 1 year, you're gonna realize that it's not exactly like that. What I feel is 2 years ago or 3 years ago, here on Instagram, there was this fever. Yes, have an ebook. You have to have an ebook because you're gonna exchange. You're gonna give this person an ebook, and you're gonna get this person's contact. So many people did that nobody cares for ebooks anymore. Maybe if you're beginning to use social media right now, maybe you're interested. And then there was a second fever with the pandemic and everything. What was the second fever? You have to go live. You have to have something. So there was an order. Yeah. So you have to warm up your audience. You have to give them something. Then you have to take them into a workshop or a master class or something. And at the end, you have to sell something. Before you reach this point, you had to create a lot. You had to create a lot and invest a lot of your free time into something that you had no idea if it was going to work out or not. But there were many people doing this. Many. And what happens? I don't know about you, but if I see a live, like I'm live here, but when was the last time I came live? Yes, it was just, instead of recording a video, I came here for a live. But we know that most of those lives are there to sell us something. So it was another strategy. So before, it was the ebook. And then it was go live every week and try to sell something in the end. And then after a while, try to sell something in the middle, because people have realized that you're going to sell something in the end. And then they're going to leave before the end. And now it's not working anymore. People can't bear lives anymore. People can't stay there until the end anymore. So what people are doing? They are the marketing gurus. They are thinking about making you go into course creation, into product creation, because you need this passive income. Otherwise, you're a loser. Yeah. Otherwise, you are selling your time. Yes, we are selling our time. And people who are creating courses are also selling their time. But before getting any financial result. Because talk to those people. Talk to those people. If you are curious, ask them how much time they invested in the creation. Number of hours, how many hours they invested, and then how many hours online every day creating and contacting people and having short video calls with those people until they could sell one or two. You know what I mean? Livia said something here. Oh, I've been missing a lot of. Okay, oh my God, I have been speaking. Okay, Livia, I see people telling people they shouldn't trade their time for money, as if the time they spend selling their courses on social media or prospecting wasn't trading money, wasn't trading time for money. Yes, so calculate the number. That's exactly this. Calculate the number of hours you invested in learning how to create and creating. 2 months of work time, 2 months, even more, depending on your expertise in technology and your knowledge in the area that you're trying to create. Because if you create something, you have to be really good at it. Yeah, you have to be good, because if you're not good, people are not gonna buy it. So if you're not good, really good, because you don't create experts. I want to be an expert. Everybody wants to be an expert, but how do you become an expert in something? It's through experience. It's not through wishes. I want to be an expert in my field, so I choose this field. No, the field comes to you from your experience. You don't go into the field. The field comes to you. You don't go into, I choose this niche. Why? Because I want to. Okay, so make sure that you are aware that if you choose this now, it's going to take 2 years, 3 years until you are a reference in the area. It doesn't happen overnight. Yes? Nicole said, it was because all of these rules and trends that I felt overwhelmed and gave up. Yeah, Nicole is such a wonderful teacher. I have known you for a while. Your posts were amazing and you are a wonderful person. You have a wonderful level of English. So this pressure that you have to do takes good people off the social media market. And what is left is what beginners, yeah, and that's okay because everybody begins somewhere, or this feeling of frustration, yeah. And then let me see, yeah, thanks, all right, and that's it. So what I am here to tell you is not to demotivate you or to say, no, it's too hard, or no, don't do it. No, it's exactly the opposite. Do it slowly. Do it when you feel like doing, because life is not meant to happen in 6 months. For example, this account I started at the beginning of this year. It's almost 1 year. Yeah, it was January 30 or January 31st. Something like that, because I had this idea that I could help people, and people started talking to me so much that I sold 2 workshops. But then I didn't want to keep on selling. I didn't want to keep on producing for the sake of selling something. No, we need a balance here, because social media doesn't give us this balance. There is no balance. It's like produce, or you're a loser. Buy or sell, in our case, yes. Sell, or you're a loser. I am fed up with this you're a loser message, yes? So I'm so sorry if I came here and I am complaining, because the topic is 5 things that, what's the topic? 5 things you don't want to do. Yeah, so what should you do for next year? Talk to your audience. Talk to your current students. Ask for feedback. Talk to them what they would like to do next year. See if they're gonna renew their contracts with you. Because thank God, this I'm sure I'm doing well with my students. Because they keep renewing. They keep coming back. Why? Because I'm focusing on them. So focus on your current students. Don't do what we see big companies like telephone operators, telephone companies do. They sell and they forget about you. You're not a client anymore. As long as you have paid, you are not important anymore. Don't do that. I have been there. Yes, I have gone through this process. I buy something and then I am completely ignored. I'm not a client anymore because I have already paid. Do the exact, then I will never buy anything from this person or this group anymore because I don't matter to them. So what you should do for next year, talk to your clients, understand what they're expecting for next year. Ask, if you don't have enough students, ask for recommendation. Talk to your students about is there anyone, I have a gap on Monday, I have a gap on Wednesday. Is there anyone you could recommend? Because word of mouth is what works best in the market. It's unpredictable. You never know when it's gonna happen, but talk to them. It's December time. That's the moment for you to do it. And work on your teaching development, on your language awareness, on your progress as a teacher, so that you can offer more and more to your students. Yes? Fernanda said, stop selling your time is the new marketing trap. What a slogan. Yes. Yeah, so, there are moments. So what's the next one that is working out with ourselves? Yeah, not ourselves, but with the teacher group. Because the teachers are lost. Yeah, look, I have to work. Why not have more people telling them, work, teach? That's the beauty of our jobs. Yeah, being a teacher. I love teaching my students, and that's okay. Yeah, sell courses while you're on the beach. Well, those people who say sell courses while you're on the beach, I have never seen them selling courses on the beach. And if they're selling courses I have never seen any, but if you have seen one, please tell me, because there might be exceptions. Of course, who am I to say it doesn't exist? But proportionally speaking, yes, like 1%, 99% selling. Do what I don't do. Yeah, do what I don't do. And Livia said, as if it was that easy, right? On the beach posting content non-stop so people don't forget about you. Quality of life. I said a while ago, you have to have this work-life balance, which means work time, lifetime. Because work is part of our lives, it's not who we are. Yeah? Let me see what else we have. I may have missed here. It is disheartening that high-level professionals like Nicole are giving up because salespeople try to take over teaching. Yes, please, Nicole, come back because you're so good. And so many others give up on the social media world because of this pressure. So I hope I can, when I pour out my heart to you, it's not because I want to demotivate you, but I want to show you that there are other ways. There are other ways, and mainly the way of teaching, not the way of selling. Yeah, this is an illusion. It's done with marketing. It's marketing gurus. Yeah, Nicole said the audience is also to blame, right? They want shortcuts. Salespeople offer the said shortcuts. Yes, I agree with you. There are a lot of people. There are two things here. We are talking about people who love what they do. Like me, like you guys who are commenting here. Yes, I love what I do and I want to be better. What happens? We fall into the traps before we are smart enough in this field. We fall into traps because we are naive. We don't know. But unfortunately, there are a lot of teachers who don't like what they do. As in so many other areas, so many professionals. You have professionals and professionals. Of course, yes. So there are many professionals who don't want to teach. They want to have the passive income without teaching. But then I'm not talking to these people right now. I'm talking about the ones who feel pressure and who feel this pressure on their shoulders to sell. Yeah, I'm talking to the people who love what they do. Yes. And then Fernanda said, what's your opinion about self-paced programs? If students never finish the program, how can a teacher get testimonials? Yes. When you have asynchronous courses, there are people who are very disciplined, of course, yes, but they're not the majority. Most people, and I can speak for myself there, I'm not very disciplined. I start very motivated, but I am a group person. So I do things very well in a group. But when I have to sit at my table in front of the computer every Saturday to do an asynchronous course, it doesn't work very well with me for a long time. So I tend not to finish courses. And if they are self-paced, my pace is not selfie. It's not self. I depend on others. I depend on exchanging. That's my personality. And what I can feel from my students and from other teachers that I have contact with, most people are not that disciplined. So make sure that if you create something to sell asynchronously, that you find a way of getting feedback in the beginning. Because if you wait for the person to end, you'll get 0 testimonials. 0, no, it's too much. But you're gonna get very few testimonials. But make sure that you have this contact with your client in the beginning. Yeah. I do miss Instagram. Come back, Nicole. This was the perfect way to begin my day. First cup of coffee spent with you, Agnes. Oh, Catherine, thank you. Yeah, and I'm talking to people who love what they do, who are here because they intend to do something good, to do something better, to grow. Yeah, so my message here was to tell you that I value my quality of life a lot. And my intention with this life is to share something with you so that you can feel comfortable for next year. And I'm not gonna post a lot December and January, because that's what I believe for my life. And I'm gonna be coming here when I have something useful that I consider useful and meaningful to share with you. But that's it. Yes, and don't expect anything from me right now in terms of sales or in terms of anything. It's not wrong, but at this point, I'm not gonna do anything. A friend asked me last week, aren't you gonna do anything for the Black Friday moment? Yeah. And I said, you know what? At this point of my life, I want peace. So I'm not gonna do anything right now. I just want to slow down, spend time with my family, spend time with my kids, do a good job for my clients, and then I'm gonna go on vacation. And I have a 30-day vacation because I work with contracts. So that's what I wanted to share with you, because I'm gonna have a class in a while. So remember, that's what matters most, our clients. So I really appreciate for all the comments, for you all being here with me. That was really lovely. It was unexpected. You know, I like to do things off the top of my head. So I think that's nice. Thank you so much, and I hope it was somehow meaningful to you. Okay? Have a good day, everyone.